Hi everyone, this is Kevin Limtow, and I'm going to describe my project number 5 weather station project or system. The main intent is really to download temperature and humidity using this ESP8266 NodeMCU board, which comes in the weather station kit from ThingPulse. The basic concept of operations here is very straightforward. It's a hardware and embedded software combination to get and display temperature and humidity data through wireless communication means. As I've noted, the key to this whole project, at least for me, is this ESP8266 weather station kit from ThingPulse. The focus, of course, is to get temperature and humidity readings using this kit and then go ahead and display them using the display that's also provided from that weather station kit. For this particular project, I decided to focus solely on using the Open Weather Map API. I decided not to use the DHT sensor at all because I figured the Open Weather Map API gave me all the information I wanted and then some relative to the DHT sensor. I am using the JSON parser library in order to parse through the JSON formatted data that is sent back to me via the Open Weather Map API. Everything is coded in C++, and it is executing on the NodeMCU target. A couple additional details. I ended up deciding that it would be cool if I could display other data available through the Open Weather Map API, like the name of the city that I'm in right now, the description of the weather, which I believe might even be part of the weather station demo INO code that is provided by Daniel Eichhorn. But some other things like the weather icon and the feels like temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So I went ahead and did that or incorporated it. The design of this hardware is actually very, very straightforward. It's exactly pulled from the ESP8266 weather station guide that was provided on JHU Canvas. It's just the ESP8266 NodeMCU board, the SSD1306 OLED display, basic 4-wire connection between the two. And I have a host PC here, but that's purely really just for providing power. There is a serial communication happening between these two, but I chose to mostly ignore it for the course of this project. The existence of this OLED display ended up being really my troubleshooting mechanism. The software design for the system is very straightforward as well. The user really has nothing to do except sit and observe. The user is going to start by connecting the ESP8266 to the host via USB, mostly again just to power it. The application then takes over from there. It sets up the OLED display, connects to a local Wi-Fi network, and while it's doing that, it goes ahead and displays to the user that the system is connecting to Wi-Fi. It gets time from a local NTP server. Then it goes about getting its first bits of weather data via an API call to Open Weather Map, and it goes ahead and tells the user it's doing that as well. And then it initiates its very basic round robin loop design where it just kind of mostly goes about doing nothing. But after 5 minutes have elapsed, it sets a flag that then allows an if statement check to go and initiate getting weather data via the API call and displaying the data to the user upon the next display frames. This note here about display frames. So as I understand it, the library, the OLED library that is also referenced in the guidance book from Daniel Eichhorn also provides code that drives this library kind of in parallel. I've set it so that every 10 seconds, it just updates the next display frame. The 3 display frames I have are a time and date display frame. The next display frame has the local city name, temperature, and relative humidity. And the very last display frame I have describes has the weather description, the weather icon, and a feels like temperature. And I'll go ahead and show a demo of that. I won't get into all the nitty-gritty details of the implementation for this, but I really just borrow heavily from the WeatherStation demo.ino code provided by Daniel Eichhorn, and I've linked his GitHub repo here. It's working just fine off the latest iteration. There were a number of changes I had to make to get this project to work the way I wanted to per the derived requirements I've generated. Out of the box, it does not output relative humidity, and there's some, quality of life things that I wanted to get done, along with specific configurations for my project. For example, I needed to make sure it connected to my local Wi-Fi network and use my personal API key to open weather map. I changed the location ID to Boston because that's where I'm at. So all of these changes are logged here within my report, and I'll probably just run straight into the demo here. So I'll go ahead and cut, and I'll see you at the demo.
Hello and welcome back. So this is the hardware setup that I have for this project. Once again, this is the NodeMCU board that we're using that houses the ESP8266 microcontroller. This is the OLED display with that very basic 4-wire interface between the two, providing power and signal. So I'm going to go ahead and just hook this up to my host PC, which is just providing power. There you go. And now we're connecting to the Wi-Fi, as you can see on that OLED display. And we're up. So this first frame here is just showing the time and date, which is accurate to when I'm recording this, Sunday. That is my local city, Boston, local temp of 37.1 degrees Fahrenheit and local humidity of 33%. And finally, this last frame shows the weather description, which is that there's a few clouds, the weather icon, and a feels like temperature of 27.7 degrees. And now it just rotates back. And let's go ahead and validate that that information is all correct, starting with the time and date, 12:55, March 19th. I'll go ahead and refresh this page on openweathermap.org. and confirm that I'm in Boston at 12:55. Temperature is 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Weather icon is this sun peeking behind the clouds. There's a few clouds, and it feels like 28 degrees Fahrenheit with a humidity of 33%. And I can also validate it with the Open Weather Map API. So if I go ahead and run that, I just refresh the page. The temperature is 37, feels like it's 28. 27.8 rather. There's a little bit more information. The humidity is 33%. Few clouds is the weather description, and the city name is Boston. And so there we go. That is a demonstration of my weather station project. Thanks very much.